Hi everyone, today is October 5th and I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. Now, I have gotten a chance to read 2 or 3 of your blogs so far. I was able to read, again, 2 or 3 of them this morning, the ones that we did on Schoology, and I hope that you guys like the new way that we're going about things with Schoology. I hope that it's been a lot simpler. From what I've seen so far, it seems a lot simpler, and I like the interaction that you guys get to have with each other. It's nice not being quite as isolated and just strictly focused on your own work in a virtual setting. And so it's nice that you guys get to share with each other and that you guys get the opportunity to read each other's blogs. Now, if you've checked Chalkable, then if you have a 10 out of 10, again, that's the new point system. So if you have 10 points, you have full credit for it. It will help pad your grades in the future. And if you're missing an assignment, then it won't quite hurt you as badly as it did when it was 20 points. So if you have 10 points, you're good to go. You're solid for this week. If you don't have a grade, or if you have a grade of 1, then that just means that I probably haven't, especially if you don't have a grade for it yet, I just haven't gotten to it yet. And so just be patient with me on that. Again, I was only able to get to 2 or 3 of them this morning. So so I ask for your patience on that, and I'll get them graded and back to you as soon as I can. And if you have an 8, if I put an 8 in Chalkable, that means that you're missing 2 points because, again, I want us to reply to one other classmate's work. So if you're missing those 2 points, go back and add a comment of about 2 or 3 sentences that really shows that you've read their blog post and that you're thinking about their blog post. So think about that, and then you'll get those points back. Once you make that comment, and then send me a message just reminding me, hey, I've made up that message, or that reply. I've made up that reply. So again, that's the way our point breakdown is going from now on. Is 10 points if you write the blog and do the whole thing, and if you write the blog and respond to a classmate's. 8 points for just writing the blog, 2 points for responding to a classmate's, and then again, 1 point for an incomplete, and if it's totally blank, I haven't quite gotten to it yet, but I will get to it soon. So, I hope the blogs went well, and we will move forward on that. Now, today, we are going to be talking about something a little bit different. For the past several weeks, we've been talking about print journalism, and almost exclusively print journalism. So today, we're going to change things up a little bit, and we are going to be talking about broadcast journalism. Now, broadcast journalism is a really fun and interesting topic, and so we will get through as much of it as we can today, and then we will finish talking about it tomorrow. So our lessons are probably going to be a little bit shorter today and tomorrow, but hey, that just means that we get to dive in a little bit deeper about broadcast journalism and go through a little bit more about broadcast journalism. So what I want you guys to do right now is take about 30 seconds or so, and come up with your own definition of broadcast journalism, what you believe broadcast journalism entails, what it's like. So go ahead and take a few seconds. You can pause the video if you need some more time. Broadcast journalism is a type of news reporting presented to the public electronically or by radio instead of being published in newspapers. So what this means is that broadcast journalism is news that is published on television or radio primarily, or streamed online. If you Facebook Live a news report, then you are engaging in broadcast journalism. Now, we said that it's TV or radio. So what I want you to do is take another, again, 30 seconds or so, and think about what broadcast journalism stations that you might watch or listen to. Again, it can be television, it can be radio. Think through some of those. Let's talk about some of the examples that you might have chosen. Broadcast journalism includes any of the following and all of the related news sites or news stations and radio stations. So Mix 103.3, Y102, Bama Country 98.9. These are all radio stations, and you might know them better for their music. But they do announce news on there as well. And then you might also be familiar with these news stations, WSFA 12, Alabama News Network, Troy Trojan Vision News, that's produced at the university just right next to campus, and WDHN News out of Dothan. Now, some of these you might listen or watch some or all of these. You might have your own news stations that you follow and that you watch. You might wind up not watching any of these particular stations, but there might be some radio stations that you prefer that you get your music and your news from, right? There might be TV shows that you watch that tell the news, show the news, but might not have necessarily made it on this list. Oops. Now, I have another question here of what are some parts of broadcast journalism? What are some aspects of broadcast journalism? Now, we've already mentioned broadcast journalism can include radio and TV, but it can also include social media. Again, if you Facebook Live a news video, then you are engaging in broadcast journalism. This is an interesting one. blogging, blogging. You guys have been engaging in broadcast journalism since the first week of school, since the first or second week of school. Blogging is a type of broadcast journalism. Blogging is this middle ground hybrid, right? Because it is an evolution of print journalism, but because it's on an electronic media, it also qualifies as broadcast journalism. So you guys actually have experience in broadcast journalism. Ain't that neat? Now, it can also include newscasts and newspapers and other forms of broadcasting. It involves all different types and ways of getting information out there based on electronic media and based on, again, radio as well. So this is going to be our first section. Like I said, today's lesson was going to be a little bit shorter. Tomorrow we will talk about camera angles, and we will talk about how to create a broadcast news reel or a broadcast news segment, primarily looking at camera angle. So that's going to be tomorrow's lesson. Now, something else that I meant to mention at the beginning of the video after talking about blogging, I know that you guys are curious about those list of names that I had you turn in for homework as well for your reporting project. I will get information to you on that within the next day or so. But don't worry, the next part of your assignment won't be due for a long time. And whatever, if I set the date, if I initially planned for the date to be X number of weeks from Tuesday, but then I can't get you the rest of the material until Wednesday, then I'll make it till Wednesday. But you should be able to, but you should expect the next step of your interviewing project tomorrow. So tomorrow will be about camera angles, and it will be about your interviewing project just a little bit more. But again, that's nothing that you have to concern yourself with tonight, unless you haven't turned in the names. If you haven't turned in the names, go ahead and get those back into me. Again, there's an assessment on Schoology. All it is, when I say assessment, is it's just a form that will allow you to plug in your 2 names. You can have up to 5, but again, these are just people that you're brainstorming. So you don't have to have 5. You don't even have to have 3. I just wanted 2 so that you had one person that in mind for sure, and then you had a backup just in case something didn't work out. But that assignment was given to you October 1st on Thursday. So go back to there and plug in those names if you haven't already, and I will get you the next step of your assignment tomorrow. So you all have a wonderful day, and take it easy. I'm excited to keep discussing broadcast journalism with you all.